How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the PCast. Today we got a number of topics to go over. I believe we have 7 different topics. Richard,
Yeah.
you don't even need to introduce yourself. Everyone knows you at this point. Tell me the topics, Richard. Tell me the topics.
Yes. The first topic is UK digital IDs. The second topic is Trump enacts the 1807 insurrection law. The third topic is French Prime Minister resigns after only 1 month in office. The fourth topic is Madagascar Gen Z riots. The fifth topic is Taylor Swift new album reactions. The sixth topic is Supreme Court hearing on Colorado conversion therapy ban. And the seventh and final topic is the South Carolina federal judge's house is burnt down.
Perfect. Couldn't have stated it any better. Of course, there is always an eighth topic with Richard over here. That eighth topic is his dating life, but we don't talk about that. All right, let me switch it over to my browser here. All right, let's see. So the first one is digital ID, right?
Yes.
You can see my screen, right, Richard?
I see it. I see Jeff.
Okay. So I got a video here. We're only gonna watch like about 5 minutes of this, and we'll just say what we think about it, and then we'll move on to the next topic. This is this guy named British Landor. Check him out. He's pretty goated with what he's posting. He's from Britain, obviously, and he's probably a good source, I would think, because the man is from England, and he just talks about everything that is happening in the UK and all that. And what we have here today, actually, is digital ID, and how Keir Starmer is trying to push the idea of a digital ID where you need a ID that is digital in order to work or do anything in the UK. And so let's get into the video.
Well,
here.
folks, it looks like the conspiracy theorists were right yet again, because just a couple of days ago, Keir Starmer announced that we're all going to be getting a digital ID. Compulsory, not optional, mandatory. You must have one. And maybe you're thinking, well, this doesn't sound too bad because I'm kind of used to having things on my phone by now. You know, my debit cards, my credit cards, my boarding pass to get on a flight. And after all, Keir has promised that this will only be used to tackle illegal working.
You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID.
Ooh. That is dystopian. Did you hear that, Richard?
Yes, you can't work in the UK if you don't have a digital ID.
Yeah, that's wild.
It's as simple as that.
Well, strap in, because this is the death of liberty. This is nothing to do with proving whether you can legally work. We already have systems in place for that. This is about the state knowing everything about you, all of your bank details, how often you've visited the hospital, your social media accounts. All of them will eventually be attached to your digital ID. The state will know everything about you, and they will be able to totally control you. This is a digital prison. Ooh, Lando, that all sounds a little bit crazy. I don't think the British people would stand for that. I agree. Right now, they wouldn't, but this will take place over 10, 15, 20 years. More and more things will start getting added to your digital ID. Eventually, it'll be your bank accounts, then it'll be your social media accounts, and every single time, there'll be an excuse from the government about why this needs to be added.
Yeah, I'm thinking about this. Like, you do not need a digital ID in order to determine who is an illegal immigrant or not. You could literally just ask them what their social security number is, or ask them for, I don't know, any other type of ID like a passport or a visa or a driver's license. Heck, you need a license for everything in the UK nowadays. So the only reason they're making this digital ID, there's no other reason to do it other than to spy on people. You could literally have any sort of ID on you to show that you are eligible to work. And they could even look you up by looking at your social security number. I don't know if the UK has a social security number, to be honest. So correct me if I'm wrong, if they have one or not, but this just seems stupid to me. Anyways, I'm going to continue with the video.
We need to tackle fraud. We need to tackle social media misinformation and hate speech. Everything will get attached to your digital ID, and the state will know everything about you. Over a long period of time.
That is also big, because they already do a bunch of monitoring on social media about what you say, and they could potentially arrest you depending on what you post. Like if you're posting something saying you hate how this person is doing this, that's a hate crime. You could get arrested for that. It's as simple as that. They have police that's simply all they do. Their entire job is simply to just monitor people's social media accounts and ensure that they aren't saying anything offensive.
This happen straight away, but this is the first step. And we simply cannot stand for it. I know as well there's going to be people out there saying, oh, I trust the government, which honestly is kind of an insane position with everything we've seen over the past 15, 20 years. But
if you trust your government, then then there's something wrong with you. I'm just saying, chat.
Okay, you trust the government. You trust Keir Starmer. Do you trust the next government? Well, it's going to be Nigel Farage. Do you trust the government in 15 years or in 20 years' time to have total knowledge and total control over you? Do you trust them? If you're saying yes, you're an idiot because you don't even know what that government could look like. This is a communist and a fascist wet dream. The East German Stasi could never have dreamed of a tool this powerful. And you know what?
Yeah, this is a wet dream. Just thinking about like Stalin would kill for this type of thing. Mao Zedong would dream for this. Xi Jinping, I think he already does this sort of stuff anyways. But nonetheless, this is a communist dictatorship wet dream, as he has stated.
We've actually already experienced a little bit of this, haven't we?
Do you remember the COVID vaccine passports? Those smug little green screens that barred the unjabbed from everyday life, serving as a...
Oh, I remember this. So basically, during the COVID pandemic, a bunch of people were taking the COVID vaccines, and basically, if you didn't take the COVID vaccine and have like a thing showing that you did, you couldn't go into any place at all. It's kind of dystopian. That's like, I'm trying to put it into better words. It's like literally the same thing as a digital ID. If you don't do what the government wants you to do, if you don't take this vaccine or drug or take this or get spied on by the government by taking this digital ID, you are simply barred from partaking in society.
Blatant Orwellian tool of coercion and division. Well, if you didn't take the government at face value, let alone dared challenge them, you faced life-changing decisions. Travel abroad or be grounded at home. Keep your job or face financial ruin. See your family or stay isolated alone. Those were some of the choices the government often told you had to make. Comply or shut up. That is the raw, unchecked power governments can wield when given the tools, and digital ID hands them the sharpest blade possible. It paves the way for far worse down the line, doesn't it? One author...
Yeah, it doesn't... They can already do this stuff already, the government. They obviously can do a bunch... Like, they could look up a bunch of this stuff and go in a deep investigation. What he's just saying is that it gives them the sharpest blade possible. They can already do it, but it gives them a more sharper blade. It just makes it easier for them to do it. That's all.
Authoritarian regime later, and you, your children, and their children could face being sent to camps based on ethnicity, political views, religion, or even health status, as we've already seen. But why stop there? Why not seamlessly link your social media profiles, algorithmically scoring your influence and loyalty to the government?
I want you to think about China for a second. China operates a social credit system. Now, the way that works is there are tons of algorithms out there assessing each individual person within China and how well they comply with or resist the state. The more you comply with the state, the better your life will be. The more you resist the state, the worse your life will be. The more that they will punish you.
Social credit, that's basically it, chat. Like, simply just look at China and then compare it to what's happening in the UK. China is just the UK a few steps ahead, obviously with communism and stuff. UK looks like it's going down that trend with digital IDs.
And those systems rely on two things that are currently being introduced across the UK and across Europe. digital ID and facial recognition. We're seeing it everywhere, all across Europe and all across the UK. Both of those things are essential to bringing in a social credit system. And the end result is, well, the Chinese people cannot possibly resist their own government. Their government can do pretty much whatever they want to the Chinese people.
Yeah, that's a big thing. They know just exactly what every single Chinese citizen does and thinks, their family, what they do, what they look up, what they watch, what their interests are, their personality is, what their hobbies they like to do. They know everything. And they could put a face to a name pretty quickly. I mean, just think about it, right? They got all these people. Think about it this way. They've had all these years, they have this giant population, right? And they're a communist regime. Why do you think... Well, there has been protests, riots, or sort of revolts, but they've all been simmered down. Why do you think that is? I mean, take an example from... I don't know if I should be saying this on YouTube, because now I don't think my channel is going to be recommended to China, but whatever. Think about Tiananmen Square. Think about that. That died down so fast and quickly. There's a reason why they don't talk about it in China. You know why? Because they know. They literally have access to they can hear what you're talking about with people. Technology is everywhere. Unless you are away from technology, modern technology, they can hear and understand everything. Like one time, this actually happened like last week, right? I'm at the dentist and we're talking about my overbite, right? I never searched it up or asked Google anything. I've never talked about it before to my phone, searched it up or anything. And we just simply talked about it for like a minute. I simply say overbite, right? And what do you know? I come home and I see on my phone YouTube recommending me videos about overbites. And I'm like, wow. They are listening to me. They know it's not a coincidence. A lot of people also see this. Have you noticed that too, Richard?
Well, yeah, definitely. Every time you go to like a Lowe's or Home Depot or Staples, all of a sudden they just recommend videos for home repair or supplies. Or if you're talking about a conversation, let's say about relationships, all of a sudden it just shows all these relationship videos. I'm like, it's wild. Yeah, I mean that the phone can hear all this stuff and all it's like the privacy is vanishing, which is a little bit scary. I mean, sometimes there's the argument, oh, we have nothing to hide, but sometimes even if it's like nothing's too controversial, do you really want all your thoughts to be public? Or...
Yeah, you got to be really careful about what you say nowadays, even if it is private. Your phone and like your laptop or computer or everything, you could still hear that. And these apps, what they do is they sell your data all the time, right? So now your information is going to get everywhere, and they are on your like phones and everything. They can track where you are, like through GPS. They can see what your search history is by checking with other apps, because they're selling your information to each other and to everybody out there. That's how a lot of these apps make money. Or rather, like a bunch of search engines as well. They sell your data. Nobody actually realizes it until like they look deep into it or like ask the question. But yeah, they make money off of selling your data. Just crazy to think about. So it's wild to think about it and how much privacy there no longer is.
And they will do nothing, because at any given moment the Chinese government can make life absolutely hell, basically just turn off the taps for any Chinese citizen. Is that really the future that you want for Europe and the future that you want for the UK?
Yeah, like recently Afghanistan, Remember when we wait, was it Afghanistan? No, it was Iran. It was Iran. We covered this in one of the podcasts. Do you remember this, Richard? Where they shut
Was
down
that?
the internet?
That was Afghanistan.
That was Afghanistan. Oh yeah, it was Yeah, it was Afghanistan because it was a Taliban. Yeah, I remember. I remember. It was Afghanistan. Okay. Yeah, they literally shut down the internet so that nobody can really like use the internet. And basically, what I was saying is that people can't communicate with each other as easily, and of course, they can't communicate to the outside world and show them what's actually happening. It's a way of like closing the curtains to the rest of the world about what's happening because we don't know what's happening. We've become so reliant on the internet and technology that we don't really do other things like have spies in other countries as off. Well, obviously there's Chinese spies in America, obviously, but like we don't heavily rely on like scouting, like, well, not scouting, but like sending people to understand what's happening in a country, like almost like espionage, right? We've become too reluctant on like internet and seeing what's actually happening with the citizens, seeing what they post, but the government can control it.
Maybe you want to travel somewhere and you're trying to book a plane ticket, but according to your digital ID, you've already met your carbon quota for the year. So no, try
carbon quota is crazy. That is absolutely insane.
Months. Instead, you try and get a few beers from the shop because you're having a barbecue with some friends, but guess what? You've met your alcohol quota for the month, so no, you can't do that either.
Think about that. Alcohol quota, that is every Karen's wet dream. Think about that. Richard, don't you agree with me on that one, man? Like,
I mean, alcoholism is a thing, but I don't know. To alcohol you're really drinking. I mean, I don't think that should be public information.
Yeah, that shouldn't. Like, if the government knows how much you're drinking, then you've obviously something's wrong.
I'll just sit at home and browse Twitter and go on my social media platforms, but you can't do that either because you're locked out of all of them. Why? You offended someone. Come back in 2 weeks, but if you take this correctional training to improve your wrong think, well, we'll narrow that down to a week. I know that this is a very bleak and
yeah, it's actually pretty crazy to think about. Like, essentially, do you want your government to be Discord mods?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want the government controlling everything that I do. I mean, that's...
Exactly. I don't trust the government with basically being moderators and Discord admins and mods, literally controlling and muting and like discerning what I can and can't see based off of what they view as being bad or good. Essentially. They are essentially Discord mods at that point. And I don't like Discord mods. I think Discord mods have too much power, chat.
Dystopian future. And am I saying that it would definitely happen? No. Am I saying it could happen? Well, it could happen only if such a thing as digital ID exists and it has these sprawling tentacles in every part of your life. Not the digital ID, the state will control your life or have the ability to control your life and the rights that you have and the access that you have to everything through this ID. Do not give the state the ultimate power over all of its citizens. You will never be able to resist. Don't give the state that power. Expect that if you give the state a power, it will be used against you. Now, I know Keir Starmer's out there trying to convince people that this is some kind of plan to tackle illegal migrants working, but guess what? He's lying to you. It's bullshit. Every job...
He never cared about illegal immigrants. He never cared. Why would he push it now? Even when people are been asking him for months or if not years about this, and then all of a sudden he's like, oh, we're going to come out with this digital ID pass to combat it. Like, no, it's obviously not for that. What do you think we are, stupid? Like, come on, man. Come on.
I've ever had,
He
I've already
obviously
proved
isn't
my
doing it for the best
identification.
interests
I
of
show
the
them my
country.
driving license or my passport and my national insurance number. It's very simple. We already have systems in place. Foreigners working in the country, they have to show an electronic visa. They basically already have a digital ID only
Exactly.
for the foreigners who have those visas. It's nonsense what he's suggesting. The people who are working illegally, they bypass all of those systems, and guess what? They'll bypass your digital ID as well. They'll still find loopholes around it like they do with Deliveroo, like they do at the car washes. And look, the government knows where all of these people are and where they're working. Go to any migrant hotel and guess what? There's 50 Deliveroo bikes outside.
This is essentially just the first step to social credit, like your social score or your social credit, whatever it's called from China. If you have bad standing with the government, then your digital ID will deny you from everything. If you have a good standing, then the government will allow you to use your digital ID. It's essentially that. I mean, there's no reason to be having a digital ID except for this. We have a bunch of systems for illegal immigration and a bunch of things to determine if somebody's a citizen or not, or if they can work in the country. But when you get this digital ID, there's no reason to have. I do think, though, however, this is a stupid idea. Digital IDs are a stupid idea right now. I think in the future, it's only a matter of time until everybody else starts adopting digital IDs. I think it's going to be guaranteed after about 50, 60 years, maybe more. I think it will happen. It's just a matter of time. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. Do you have anything to say on that, Richard?
I mean, that is unfortunate. Yeah, I mean, I think they say around the world that, I mean, I guess internet connection, I guess that's good or bad, but I think like 90% of the world has the internet. But I feel like it almost builds on itself that it's like, oh, now they have this digital ID, and it seems like it's spreading all over the world, I guess. So,
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully it doesn't get out of hand, but I guess it have to be country by country or situation by situation.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's really just a matter of time, in my opinion, until it happens. I mean, I take this because I'm looking like at like freaking Cyberpunk 2077 as being like pretty bad dystopia. That's where I'm basing things off of. I'm thinking, of course, I can always be wrong here, but like that's how I see that as like being the worst thing that can happen. Is just Cyberpunk. And I generally think we might be going down that trend. But anyways, let me continue the video.
But the government doesn't want to do anything about it. Let me just put this argument to bed once and for all. How are you going to prove who you are to get your digital ID? You're probably going to have to go somewhere and show them your passport and your national insurance number. Well, guess what? If you can do that, you can already prove your citizenship.
Exactly.
It's that simple. So when he's trying to tell you this is a way to tackle illegal migrants working, nonsense. The government knows where they're working, knows how to stop it, but they simply won't do it. Leave the ECHR, repeal the HRA, deport people. They won't do it, and that's the problem. They're trying to pretend that this is their solution because they don't want to deal with the actual solution because, hey, that sounds like a lot of hard work. Do not listen to Keir Starmer's lines about how this is going to tackle the illegal migrant crisis. It isn't. Okay, let's imagine for a second that my philosophical arguments about the death of liberty and walking into a digital prison haven't managed to convince you that this is a terrible idea. Well, let's look at some practical considerations instead. Estonia's digital ID system, hacked. The NHS, hacked. India's digital ID system, hacked. Because guess what? Wherever there's valuable data, and this is going to be the most valuable data, there are people trying to steal it. I almost guarantee that will happen here in the UK.
Definitely.
Another practical consideration, cost. This will end up costing a fortune. Just like HS2 was meant to be just a railway from...
Yeah, I don't want to go on too far longer with this topic, but like, essentially you guys get the idea. Stupid idea. And he's just trying to control you. Look at the comments. I mean, I will not consent to a dictator and traitor. I miss when Orwell was fiction. Do not give in to digital tyranny. The UK Prime Minister is a dictator and a threat to human rights. Yada, yada, yada. You see what I mean. Anyways, chat, let us go on to the next topic because I think we've exceeded the amount of time we should be doing for this topic in the first place. So I'm gonna switch it back to me and Richard. Richard, what's the next topic that we have?
It's Trump enacts the 1807 insurrection law.
Trump enacts the okay, gotcha. So Trump is insurrecting the 1807 insurrection law. Richard, do you know anything about this insurrection law before we go deeper into this?
I don't have too much knowledge on this one. There's a couple of them. I think there's like this. Well, there was the something with. I wonder if it has to do something with an extension of the 1790. I think Natural Citizenship Act. I'm not quite sure. I guess maybe it might be expanding on that, possibly. I mean, it's probably expanding something. I think it has something to do with immigration. I mean, probably bigger
So
crackdown on.
what it does is basically it gives essentially the president a casus belli. You know what a casus belli is, right?
It's like free reign, like kind of.
Yeah, basically free reign. Basically, it gives him a reason or free reign. What it does is the insurrection law is he uses it, says we need to use this insurrection law, and the reason can be because there's a rebellion or like a revolt happening where and things and he needs to essentially use the act or else nothing can be done. And I can like go over the law essentially. I could like pull it up, but like it essentially gives him full power over the military to quell down a rebellion.
Yeah, that's probably the whole tug of war in the sanctuary cities. That the sanctuary cities, the illegal immigrants. Obviously, the federal government wants to take out the illegal immigrants.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a way to do that.
So this is what he's using right now, and liberals are pissed about it. So let me switch it on over, and we're gonna go to the Trump threatens to invoke insurrection. We got a Fox News video here pulled up that we're gonna watch a little bit of to give us an idea of what's happening. And give you guys a little bit better of an idea, obviously.
Trump's push to use the National Guard, it is escalating. On the West Coast, the administration is asking an appeals court to let it send California Guard troops into Portland after a judge blocked that move. In Illinois, a judge has allowed Texas Guard troops to deploy to Chicago, with 200 expected this week. Governor J.B.
Yeah, it's just like a big mess because you have that a judge from Illinois saying you can't deploy the National Guard troops, and then you got a judge from Texas saying that yes, you can send National Guard troops over to Illinois and Chicago. It's just a big mess. That's what it essentially is.
Madagascar calls it an unconstitutional invasion, and tonight the president is threatening to invoke the Insurrection Act, overriding courts and governors.
Necessary, but we have an Insurrection Act for a reason. If I had to enact it, I'd do that. If people were being killed and courts were holding us up, or governors or mayors were holding us up, sure, I'd do that. I mean,
Donald Trump is using our service members as political props and as pawns in his illegal effort to militarize our nation's cities.
With the courts divided and the president signaling he's ready to escalate, the stakes are growing for both sides. Legal analyst Jessica Levinson joins me now to break down what comes next. Thank you so much. Let's just start with the basic here, basic for, I think, everybody, and that is, what is the Insurrection Act? And is President Trump within
They're going to go over the Insurrection Act, so here it is. Listen carefully, chat.
Right to invoke it?
I'm actually curious what she has to say.
The Insurrection Act is a statute that gives the president increased powers. Marla, talked about before when it came to sending the National Guard into Los Angeles, the idea that once the National Guard was federalized in here, they couldn't directly enforce domestic law. Now, there's an exception to the Posse Comitatus Act, and that's the Insurrection Act. If you do, as president, invoke the Insurrection Act, then you can have the military acting like a civilian law enforcement agency You can have members of the National Guard and the Army who are the ones who are actively searching, seizing, performing arrests. And that's something that looks different than most Americans are accustomed to. Now, you ask me, is the president within his rights? I'm going to give a annoying answer, which is we don't have a lot of precedent on this. We just have not seen presidents try to invoke the Insurrection Act. But I think what we're seeing with respect to trying to federalize the National Guard in other areas is that judges are saying the president, any president, is owed deference in this area, but not unfettered deference. So president can't say there's a rebellion when there isn't one. And there'll be a question as to whether or not the president can invoke those increased powers from the Insurrection Act based on the facts on the ground in a variety of different jurisdictions.
Well, you mentioned this idea of a rebellion. The U.S. District Judge that stopped this from happening, we should note, is a Trump appointee, and she ruled that the deployment was unnecessary because the demonstrations did not amount to a rebellion, saying also that law enforcement was capable of handling the protests without military intervention.
That's
Jessica,
cap.
you talk about this being unprecedented. When was the last time the Insurrection Act was invoked?
That's a good question.
Oh
I'm
my
curious.
gosh, long time. If I could go back to what you were just talking about with respect to the district court judge in Portland, what she said, and I think this is really important for us, is to think about what she said is, okay, what does the statute require? The statute requires a rebellion or an invasion or the danger of one of those, or that the president is unable to execute federal law through the regular forces. And she's saying, I'm an unelected judge. The presidents get a lot of deference, but you can't make up facts. This was a really strongly worded opinion, which I use to highlight only because if you have a president trying to invoke something even, I would say, more powerful than that, the Insurrection Act, you can imagine that there would be significant judicial scrutiny.
Yeah, well, I mean, my next question then is, President Trump, if he does go ahead with this and, in fact, invoke what he thinks is his right to the Insurrection Act, he would say it's there for a reason, I'm going to invoke this, then who has the power to stop him? What's next?
So then you would have, I think, a suit that look very similar to what happened in California when the president tried to federalize the National Guard, now in Oregon, also in Illinois, where you would have the states bringing cases and saying, this violates our state sovereignty. You're trying to take over our police powers. That's not proper under the 10th Amendment. And they would bring these cases before federal judges very quickly, seeking to have temporary restraining orders. And, you know, again, emphasizing this is fairly unprecedented. I will offer that the Insurrection Act, I think, really does envision a situation where you have a president who just cannot enforce federal law without much more backup.
Well, we'll see where this ends up going.
I think what it comes down to is he's going to say that the reason for using the insurrection law is that him and the rest of the usual federal forces cannot enforce the federal law unless they have this Insurrection Act. And I think that's what he's mostly going to come down to talking mostly about. What do you have to say about this, Richard?
I think so, yeah. I mean, it could be a crime issue, too. I mean, to manage the, lower the crime statistics and get the criminals off the street.
Yeah.
The root cause of all this, hopefully. Yeah, I mean, it seems like, right, the local governments aren't really cooperating, so it seems like the federal government doing what they have to do.
This goes kind of back to, like, early, like, America, where it's back to federal and state governments, where it's you got the Federalists and the Anti-Federalists. You remember hearing about that in your government class or something, probably, right? Where you had the Anti-Federalists, I'm pretty sure they became the Whigs, and then the Federalists just stayed. Did they become Democrats? I can't remember. I don't remember. Oh, well, actually, I'm getting this wrong, ain't I? I'm pretty sure it changed into, like, the Whigs becoming... Because it was Federalists and then Anti-Federalists, and then became Democrats and Whigs. That was, like, a whole different thing. where it didn't really cover the
That's the Whigs. That was back in the early 1800s.
yeah,
the
Whigs.
1800s.
Whigs were all the way up until the Civil War. Where during the Civil War, like right before the Civil War, like when Abraham Lincoln got elected, that's when the Republicans took over the Whig party spot, and from there on, it's just been Democrats, Republicans. I'm pretty sure the Whigs were like focused on what was it? Not see, I have to remember this stuff. I have to like try to remember this stuff. But either way, anti-federalist, federalists, brings you back to that. And like, for example, there was that one case where it brought about judicial review, and Tommy J, you know him, the goat. Was it Tommy J or? I think it was Tommy J. Thomas Jefferson was the second. Yeah, he was second president.
The third president.
He was a third.
Yeah, the second was John Adams.
Yo, yeah, I had them switched around. That's why. John. Okay, yeah. So, okay, now I understand. So it was John Adams, I'm pretty sure. He was basically president, and Tommy J was the new elected president. So what happened is, basically is that John Adams, he basically filled up the entire, like, court system with, like, a bunch of, judges that were, like, on his side. As a kind of way of like, screw you, Tommy J, and everything like that, just to like make it harder for Thomas Jefferson and a bunch of other stuff. And then came like Thomas Jefferson was trying to do something. I forgot what it was now already as well. And then came the thing of judicial review. It's a whole thing. I was like in my government class. I was like freaking learning this. It's been a while. Okay, chat. It's been a while. Anyways, let me go back to the main web browser here. Right. And we're going to show some scenes about what's happening in Portland, Oregon. Oh, I like this. Hold up. Having fun in Portland, Oregon. Been out all day putting Trump stickers on rioters' cars, then sitting back watching them destroy each other's cars. Yo, that's actually kind of funny. Oh, man. Yo, this guy's having the time of his life. My man is, like, setting people up. I mean, if these people were actually, like, civil people, they wouldn't have destroyed each other's cars. But it just goes to show how violent they are because they're destroying each other's cars without even knowing or, like, disregarding what they actually think or listening to what they have to say. It's actually crazy. So here's a funny picture, right? So we have this post here saying, one of the pictures shows an insurrection, the other is Portland, Oregon. Assuming this is the insurrection, of course, January 6th. And this is Portland, Oregon, apparently, right? Saying that Portland, Oregon is completely fine. And then you see the post below this, right? And it says, this is a mall in Portland, Oregon. Does everything look A-okay? Let's put this over.
I'm in the parking garage of the Lloyd Center Mall. These are the stairs you're required to walk.
Bro, it looks like you just walked into like a map, like a map in COD or something.
Walk up to get to the Barnes and Noble. So I want to show you the path that people
absolutely insane. That's actually crazy. You freaking see this. You see Portland is fine. Portland is not fine, chat. And of course they have like Palestine on the side of the wall here, as you can see.
Lots of graffiti, lots of gross stuff on the ground.
Yeah, that is
a lot of rotting food.
Absolutely insane. Feces.
Hard to describe the smell, but it's horrific. A lot of discarded clothes.
I thought I heard like screaming from the halls there.
More rotting food.
Oh my gosh.
We finally reached the top.
They say Portland, Oregon's fine. Let me be honest. It's not fine. It's not.
Here we have Barnes and Noble.
Look at that. It looks fine. Sorta. Of course, you have like the stairs completely destroyed to get to this nice Barnes and Noble here, but like,
So you can imagine.
but just think about it this way: probably within like, if like it starts ramping up even more, this Barnes and Noble is going to be absolutely ransacked, completely destroyed, probably.
Why people have stopped shopping at malls like this and others.
Yeah, I don't blame them.
Because of this.
And you got frickin' these mayors and governors saying, it's completely fine here. We're fine. There's nothing happening. We can handle it ourselves. No, they can't. They can't handle it themselves. Like, you see this. They think, and they fully believe this is what's happening. That you get Portland, Oregon being this nice place where nothing's happening. It's calm. It's like white America, basically, right? And then you get this. You get the freaking slums. It looks like you're over in, well, I mean, that's why they are getting sent to Chicago. It looks like they're getting sent to Southside. It looks like they're on freaking, I don't even know how to describe it. It looks like they're in the slums. That's all I can really say. It looks like they are in a third world country. That mall. It looks like their government doesn't care. It looks like a horrible government runs this country, but it's, or well, this city rather, this city or state. Now let's keep scrolling here. Filmed this tonight in a Portland, Oregon's green space next to the Columbia River. Despite what the governor, the senator, and multiple elected officials are telling you, Portland is nowhere near okay. So let's look at this clip.
I am smack dab in the middle of a Portland green space.
Green space.
Everywhere you look, trash, paraphernalia, rotting food, and even dead animals. This is the reality of the streets. This is what many elected officials don't want you to know about, is that this is just right under your nose if you actually look, right? They've been sugarcoating the fact that Portland is fine, Portland is great, we've made great strides. Well, I don't know. I mean, I've done this a long time. Feels worse than ever before. I mean, definitely the most trash ever before. We also have a record number of overdoses and deaths. So I just need people to be outraged because this is just absolutely unacceptable. I mean, I'm in the beautiful Pacific Northwest, right? A great part of the country, but this is insane. What happened to the environmentalists? Where are they? Why did they stop caring about this? This just makes me absolutely crazy. It just makes no sense.
It's horrible, man. Like, it's absolutely insane. What do you have to say about that, Richard? Like, what do you think about that? Because they say one thing and then they say, but it's actually the complete opposite of it. Like, what do you think? What do you think?
No, it's a mismanagement of the government. I mean, let's be clean up, make the place look nice, and if they really want to be green, then do things that make it green, not do nothing.
Yeah, like, I just find it so, like, if your government is going this far to completely, either, it's one of two things, right? They're either literally do not know what is actually happening in their own hometown cities, in their own state. They're that, like, naive and, like, they're just completely, they really do not know, then that's scary. That's one. Or two, they completely know about this. They could completely know about this and know exactly what's going on, but they're telling you it's the complete exact opposite. I don't know which one's scarier. I mean, that is absolutely crazy to think about. They either don't know at all what's going on in their own city, in their own state, or they completely know and they are lying to you. It's one or the other. Absolutely insane. Richard, anything else you want to add on this note?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully something can be done about this. I mean, this is kind of Portland, Oregon. I guess the city taxpayers. I mean, people are paying to have whatever it is. I mean,
This
I
is
guess
what
my,
this is what their taxes are going into. Feces on the floor, graffiti all over their malls, freaking trash and rotting food all over everywhere.
yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's sick.
Hopefully, yeah, resolve this, but I
Yeah.
don't know. Seems like sometimes it's almost like a hopeless case. Sometimes the people just have to move out of Portland and
Yeah.
make a statement.
I don't think it's the rest of the state of Oregon. I think the rest of the state of Oregon is probably completely fine, to be honest. I think the rest of Oregon's probably Republican and red and conservative. I think it's just Portland. Just like how it's like Illinois, you got like it's just Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Like Chicago runs the entire politics for Illinois. New York City runs the entire politics of New York. It's the same thing with probably Oregon, where Portland, Oregon runs the entire politics of Oregon, when the rest of Oregon does not think or does basically goes this political route, right? They don't think that way, whereas Portland is completely doing their own thing. They completely control what they do, and the rest of the state just can't do anything about it because they have the population. They run it. They run the show. They run this joint. I think the only state that actually is fully blue is Massachusetts.
Wow.
Like every single county, or rather district, county, whatever, in Massachusetts is blue.
What about the state of Hawaii?
I actually don't know about Hawaii. I know Massachusetts 100% is blue on a map, but like I think the reason Massachusetts is like that is only because of the amount of gerrymandering.
Interesting.
I think that's why. Because no matter how much gerrymandering you do in New York, for example, New York City is always going to be blue, and then the rest of New York is 100% always going to be red. Because they live out in the boonies. Like New York, countryside New York and New York City are completely two different things. I've seen, like, it's like night and day. Like, you're out in the boonies, right? You're like out in the middle of nowhere. They're freaking red MAGA American mother lovers, man. Like they're conservative. And then you go to New York City, and it's just like we believe in communism. And like, bruh, what the hell, bro? What the helly? Because like, I mean, you look at their freaking leading mayor, and his freaking this guy named Bomdani, and he's a freaking communist. I mean, you probably got a lot to say about that because you're from New York. So like,
Yeah, no, shame. Yeah, the politics. We'll see though what happens in this mayoral election and then the governor election next year. So, because it seems like New York is like inching more and more to like almost like a swing state when it comes to on the state level. So,
yeah,
I don't know. Clash going on. I mean, Trump's from New York. New York is the biggest city in the United States. So,
yeah. We shall
something
see.
happens in news. So,
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Anyways, what's the next topic? Because we spent too much time on this.
yeah, the next one is the French Prime Minister resigns after only 1 month in office.
Gotcha. We only did 2 topics, haven't we?
Yes, so far.
We're already 48 minutes in. Oh, no. Okay, well, we're gonna keep some of these topics short, I guess. All right, so this one, French Prime Minister, basically what's happened is that he has basically resigned after only a month in office. Absolutely insane, right? And so let's scroll here a little bit. You'll see some people talking about, so like Prime Minister, I can't say his name, Sebastian will say, resigns a few hours after forming his government and becomes the shortest-lived prime minister since the start of the Fifth Republic. Dang. Absolutely insane. Shortest-serving French prime minister. Oh, shoot. Did this just happen today? Hold up. I actually didn't see this. Do you see this, Richard?
Yes. Yeah, dude, wow.
Breaking explosion near French Prime Minister's office. A truck caught fire in central Paris near the office of the French Prime Minister, triggering a loud explosion, per Le Parisien. I can't say that. Fire crews and police have cordoned off the area as authorities investigate the cause of the blast. That's big news. Okay, hold up. Let's look at this. Wow. So basically, this is apparently next to the office of the French Prime Minister, and they have it closed off. I have no idea or news about this. I'm just seeing this for the first time. I know Richard is just seeing this for the first time. Apparently, this was posted about 8 hours ago, right? From when we're recording this. Of course, they got some news outlets here. That's actually insane. Let's look at some of the images. Like, wow. I don't know what the cause of this is. I don't know if this is... Never think something is a coincidence. That's how I like to think of things, right? I don't think this is a coincidence, but it could. There's always the possibility, but like, I don't think it is. I don't know what's happening here, but yeah. Well, maybe this is for like another podcast, but like, we're just gonna go past this. I don't know if this any more information about this, but this is from The Independent. So, anyways, let's keep scrolling through here. Josephine and I, after hearing the news about the Prime Minister resigning after just 1 month and his Macronist government collapsing within 12 hours of being formed. I gotta see this. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, Napoleon's got some... Napoleon's going crazy here. He's getting down dirty. Oh my days. Yeah. French Prime Minister Sebastian whatever has resigned less than 24 hours after presenting his cabinet. He spent less than a month as Prime Minister, having been appointed on September 9th. Yep, and then just a bunch of more news articles talking about that. Well, posts on X. I got a news article right here talking about it. So French Prime Minister resigns in a shocking moves. Ratcheted up pressure. Yep, it's ratcheted up pressure on President Emmanuel Macron to call snap parliamentary elections. So this is not looking good for our boy Macron right now. So President Macron's office said in a statement that he had accepted the resignation of the Prime Minister and of his ministers, which came amid turmoil over the composition of his cabinet, an uneasy coalition of centrists and conservatives. The resignation immediately ratcheted pressure from opposition parties on the left and the far right for Macron to call snap parliamentary elections or even resign, options that the president has so far ruled out. Other forces like the Socialist Party argue that it was time for a left-wing prime minister to govern. Wild. So a close ally of the French president was appointed. Let's see. Yep. We already know that. He said on social media that he had agreed to do so, but provide no details, saying only that Mr. Macron would draw all the necessary conclusions depending on the result of the talks. Yada yada. But yeah, this is not looking good for our boy Macron over here. With having the shortest French prime minister ever since the Republic was formed, right?
Republic, I think that started after World War II, I think. Since 1945.
Did it? I have no idea. I have no idea when the Fifth Republic started, but like, I know they've had multiple republics. I know that. I do know.
I'm pretty sure 45 because I think, during World War II, it was occupied by Nazis. So, actually weren't. It was sort of allied,
Well,
took
luckily
over.
for us, we can search it up.
Yeah.
We'll search it up right now. When was the Fifth Republic of France really? Okay. 1958.
Oh wow! So after.
Oh, wow. On October
Interesting.
4th. Oh! We're just 3 days after the, anniversary. Woohoo!
Wow.
Happy French Day, my fellow Frenchians. This new constitutional framework championed by... Okay, I don't care. But yeah, that's crazy to think about. Wild. Right, let's go back to where we were. I mean, there's really nothing more to say about the French Prime Minister other than Macron's probably cooked now. I don't know when the next French election is, but he's probably going to be booted out from what I can see here. Because I don't think the right likes him, and I don't think the left like him either. The guy is a literal centrist, basically. And some people call him a dictator, calling him a dictator. So I think he's going to be out pretty quickly, if I had to say. Yeah, I think that's about it. Do you have anything else to say about this, Richard, before we go into the next topic?
Yeah, it seems like you're right. The Macron government, I guess, isn't really having the popularity as I guess the government thinks. So yeah, it's not doing too well. I think their election probably in like I think a year and a half. I'm not mistaken, or less than 2 years, I think.
Gotcha.
So I mean, it doesn't look good for.
Yeah, we shall see what happens. I mean, I generally do not think he's going to stay in office, but who knows? I could be wrong. There's always a possibility to things. Anyways, what is the next topic that we have, Richard?
The next topic is Madagascar Gen Z riots.
This is something that the media is actually not covering much at all. So, I have this article here. Army general named as Madagascar's prime minister to quell the Gen Z protests. He looks like a communist dictator. I'm gonna be real. Doesn't he not? Like, maybe it's just like the red in the outfit. Maybe in the stars. It looks communist.
Yeah, it's actually.
I don't know the government of Madagascar too well, because I mean nobody really knows much information about Madagascar, to be honest. They know it's an island off of Africa, and I'm gonna be real with y'all. I was looking up, I was searching up Madagascar on Twitter, and the first thing that shows up, I search up Madagascar, and the first thing that shows up is the Madagascar movie. What was the other thing that showed up as well, Richard? What was it?
I mean, it was Madagascar 2, Escape to Africa.
Oh, Escape to Africa, yeah. Just a bunch of movies. I'm like, bro, what is... I'm like, bro, what? People are still searching this stuff up? Like, those came out like a while ago, probably. But anyways, let me read this article here. So Madagascar's embattled President Andry Rajoelina has appointed an army general as new prime minister in a bid to end youth-led protests against his rule. He said the nation needed a premier, capable of restoring order in the people's trust, before naming General Rufin Fortunat Zafi Sambo to the post. Coming days after the president expressed fears of a coup attempt, the general's appointment marks a significant militarization of the government and appears to be an attempt by Rajoelina to secure the army's backing at a time of heightened tensions. The protest movement, known as Gen Z Mada, rejected Gen Zafi Zambo's... I can't with these names, man. Richard, can you pronounce this for me?
I think that's Zafi Sambos. Yeah, I think you had it right.
Zafi Sambo. General Zafi Sambo. Trying to say it in like a Donald Trump. How would Donald Trump say? He would be like, General Zafi Sambo. His appointment and gave Rajoelina 48 hours to resign. Yeah, I think that's how Donald Trump would say. But anyways, as long as Rajoelina remains in power, we will continue the struggle. Gen Z Mata said in a statement. I thought Gen Z Mata was a movement. Is this a person? Because it says said in a statement.
Wow, I guess it could be.
Is it like an actual organized thing where they have somebody in charge of it releasing a statement? Or is there like a person actually named Gen Z Mata? If so, I would be questioning why their parents named them Gen Z Mata. Anyways, the protest began on September 25th, triggered by public anger over repeated water and power cuts, and have since morphed into wider dissatisfaction over corruption, high unemployment, and the cost of living crisis. This is crazy. And in a declaration at the presidential palace late on Monday, Rajoelina announced the appointment of General Zafasambo, saying the prime minister needed to be someone clean and ready to save Madagascar. Gen Z Zavazambo, or General Zavazambo was the director of the military cabinet in the prime minister's office until this appointment. You see, I see General Z and I see General Zavizambo, and I think it's the same person for some reason, because I see Gen Z and I see Gen Z, right?
Yeah, Gen Z is the movement.
Yeah, it's just confusing to me a little bit. Last week, the UN said that at least 22 people had been killed and more than 100 injured in the protest, yada, yada, yada. I think that's enough looking at this article, because you people are probably going to get bored now. So let's look at what we got here on Twitter. Gotta go Twitter as usual. So we got the Madagascar movement. Obviously, they're using One Piece flags, or One Piece inspired flags, rather. And then we have a video here. Let's look at this video. I don't think it'll be anything bad. I'm only going to watch about a minute of this, because I don't want to watch too much. Madagascar uprising. Youth take to streets in massive protests.
In late September 2025, Madagascar witnessed one of its most intense surges of protest in years. The youth, especially students and recent graduates, took to the streets of the capital and other cities, demanding relief from severe water and electricity outages. What began as protests over basic service failure soon morphed into a broader political confrontation, exposing deep grievances about governance, inequality, and accountability. The proximate spark was repeated electricity blackouts and water cuts, where households endured outages lasting 12 hours or more per day. Public complaints had grown frequent, while the national water and power utility is widely perceived as failing to maintain infrastructure, manage supply, or allocate resources.
So essentially, Gen Z's pissed off, is what I'm getting out of this, right? Gen Z in Madagascar is completely pissed off, and they are rioting. They are pissed and protesting and rioting, and they want answers to this. And the Madagascar president essentially is just put in a new prime minister in order to try and lower the temperature in the room, let's say. So let's use another video here, I think. That's all we want to see. Law enforcement who protesters. Law enforcement joins the protesters. That's crazy. Wild. Here's some images. I don't know who this is.
Oh, that's General.
No. No way that's the general. I thought this guy was a general. Wait, is this the same person? Oh, yes, it is. He just looks darker in this photo. I was like, look at this. Look at this. He looks way darker in here, and then like you look at him here, he looks way brighter. I guess it's just the lighting. I couldn't tell. But I guess I can tell by the glasses now that I look at it. In the fit. You know, like he looks like the communist general that we were talking about. Here's more protesters and like them locking arms together and stuff, kicking tear gas cans and stuff. authorities, and whatnot. So essentially, there's been tons of riots and protests happening all over the world within like the last like few months. Have you noticed that, Richard?
Yeah, there's a lot of movements going on. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. All of Gen Z essentially is having a global crash out. I think that's the best way to put it. They're having a global crash out, and they're just kind of fed up with what's been happening in their own countries, and they're just like, you know what? Screw it. Let's freaking riot and protest. What are they going to do? They can't stop us all. And what I say to them is, no, they can't stop you all. They can't. They can't. Remember those like Area 51 memes from back in the day? And like everybody was like, they can't stop us all. Let's storm Area 51. And then like the day comes and there's like about like a dozen people. And then they're all saying like, shoot, I guess they can stop us all. And I'm like, well, I'll be damned. That's what this reminds me of a little bit. But hi guys. Yeah, free Madagascar. They want their electricity and their water back. Because the guy there shut it down, right? And obviously, this global crash out is coming after with, like, every single one of these Gen Z protests. Like, you had the one in Nepal, you had the one in Indonesia, now you're having one in Madagascar, where they're using the One Piece inspired flags. I mean, I don't know if you guys can see. Actually, no, you guys can't see because on the other side of the camera right now. Wait, let me put it back to me and Richard on the camera. So I don't know if you guys. Well, you guys can't see, but I don't know if you guys know. I actually have another flag right here on where you guys are essentially like looking at me from. I have a One Piece flag because I love One Piece. It's great. Great show. Great anime. Richard will probably watch it, though I don't think he has the time to do that.
One Piece. That's a TV series, right?
It's an anime.
Anime, okay.
It's a TV series, you could say, but it's like an anime. It's an anime. It's the OG. The show's been going for, 25 years? Yeah. Yeah, 25 years, because came out in 1999, and we're in 2025.
That's almost 26 years then.
Yeah, it's been a while. We still haven't found the One Piece. It's kind of crazy. Oh, man. People have been, like, hyping it up. It's like, are we going to get GTA 6 first, or are we going to get the One Piece first? And I've been telling them, we're going to get GTA 6 first, guys. It's going to happen. One Piece is not coming out. Everyone's going to be saying, shoot, we got GTA 6 before we found the One Piece. Damn. And I'm going to be like, yup, I told y'all. But, anyways, Madagascar, absolutely protesting. Kind of crazy. Wild to think about. Global crash outs. I mean, it's been happening in Nepal and Indonesia and everything. But, like, to see it also happening in Africa is actually kind of crazy, too. Of course, that's not the only thing happening in Africa. You obviously have, like, the genocide happening that we talked about the last podcast, which is absolutely insane to think about, and nobody's talking about that either, and nobody's talking about Madagascar right now either. The only way you get this news is if you like actively search for it, or if you like find it on Twitter by some instance or chance. But then most people just like skip over it, and they're more worried about the Taylor Swift album. Which brings us to our next topic. Let's go over the Taylor Swift album. Is that the next topic, Richard?
It is the next topic.
It is?
Yeah, the next it's Taylor Swift new album and reactions.
That was a good transition. I ain't gonna lie. That was a good transition I did there. I ain't gonna lie. I transitioned from Gen Z protests being pissed about not having electricity and water to let's talk about the new Taylor Swift album. Oh my god. Trying not to talk like a feminist woman. Oh my god, let's talk about the new Taylor Swift album. All right. Let's switch the screen over back to my web browser. All right, so we got the Taylor Swift album, and from what Taylor Swift's get this gif here from this gif of Taylor Swift here, people think it's mid. Like this one says, at least I can give an answer now when someone asks me what my least favorite Taylor Swift album is. Yeah. It turns out Taylor Swift in the album didn't do so hot, which I'm actually surprised. Her fans don't actually like the album. A few do. A few like it. But a lot of them don't like it. And you know why? Richard, do you know why?
Yeah, why is that, Jeff?
Well, I think it's pretty obvious, Richard.
Oh, I guess they don't like the album.
The reason why they don't like the album is because she's not singing about a broke up boyfriend this time.
Oh, wow.
She's married.
That is true. Yeah, it's a different tone.
Because I think every single one of her albums is about like one of her exes or something, and like breaking up with them. I think she's had like a dozen exes or something. It's like she's broken up with everybody. Like goddamn. Like oh my goodness. And now her fans are like, what do you mean you're not gonna sing about exes and breaking up? Did she grow up? Did she mature? Did she get married? And what can I say? Yes, she did. She completely did, chat. I don't think she's getting divorced anytime soon, chat. I think she's in it for the long run.
Yeah. So
what is she? 37 years old or something?
30.
Is she? Hold up. Let me check. I'm pulling up my web browser. We're going to Google this. Taylor Swift age. She's 35. Okay, 35. Yeah. She's at that prime time to be having a family now. She's no longer the young woman she was, where she would be dating a new person every 2 months and writing a song about them every other album. You know what I'm saying, Richard?
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean,
it's kind of crazy to think about. The phase is over. She's married to Travis Kelce, chat. Like, what's to say? I mean, let's look at like what people are saying on Twitter. Famous YouTuber AJ reacts to Taylor Swift's new album, The Life of a Showgirl, and she basically says, "I had high hopes. She set the bar so high. This is a low for Taylor Swift. She needs to take time away. This is not the same person who released Reputation, Folklore, and Red." People are deeply distraught about this, but they're not distraught about the Christian genocide in Nigeria. What a time we live in, Richard. What a time we live in. Let's play this video of this person reacting to the Taylor Swift album.
This was bad on my initial listen.
Oops. Something happened. Let me refresh. Did my Twitter just like crash or something? I can't tell. Okay, here we go.
On my initial listen, I'm quite disappointed in this album.
This seems like one of those like apology videos. That's what I'm getting. That's what I'm feeling. Like getting the vibes of.
I had high hopes.
I had high hopes, man. Like I was deeply distraught by what I did or what Taylor did. Like, oh, man. Like this gives me like those YouTube like apology video vibes, bro.
Because Taylor set the bar so high.
She seems very distraught and like saddened about this. This is insane.
But you know, life is truly all about ebbs and flows, highs and lows. When we go high, we have to go low. And then go high again. So this is a low for Taylor Swift. And I believe her next album, if she takes her time and collabs with the right producers, that album is going to be her best album. She needs to
Now
take
she's doing like some voodoo, like genie ass shit.
some time away.
She's like predicting the future. Like, well, if it's going down like the stock market, then it's definitely gonna go up. I mean, think about it this way, guys. Like, it's gotta happen. This is gonna be the best album ever after this one. This one's horrible. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, Richard? She's like doing like some like weird like voodoo like prediction genie crap, where she's like got her eyes closed. She's like, think about it this way, guys. Highs, and she's like putting like philosophy and everything in it. It's kind of crazy.
I'm very tempted not to count it as a Taylor Swift album. This is an intermission.
Whoa. It's not getting counted as a Taylor Swift album, guys. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. That's a little bit farther, Chad. That's crazy. She's saying it's not even a Taylor Swift album. Wow. The bar has been lowered, Chad. And the bar was pretty high. What can I say?
Okay? Because her best is yet to come.
Yup.
She needs to take time away. Experience life and not rush it.
Yeah. Basically, she's saying you need to experience life and dump Travis Kelce in order to make a new album. What can I say, chat? What can I say? We all know how this is gonna end. And so the album here is called "Life of a Showgirl," right? And this one says, not Taylor Swift and her team restricting people from rating the album. People are pissed. Well, especially her fans. They don't like the album. She's become... What's the word? A married woman.
She mature.
She's become a mature woman. Like, what can I say, chat? Like... I generally don't think she cares about the her music as much anymore. She just like posting whatever the heck she wants now. I mean, she's made all her money. She's already put out the one of the craziest tours ever with her Eras tour. Freaking that Eras tour probably lasted like a few years. Freaking long ass tour. She's become a staple in society and broke so many charts. She doesn't care anymore. She doesn't. Like, I hate to break it to you Swifties out there. I don't know if there's any Swifties out there listening or watching this podcast out there, but I hate to break it to you. She don't give okay, she don't give a like. Okay, she don't care. She doesn't care, chat. She does not care. Richard trying to hold in his laughter there. I could see it. Have you been like trying to hold in your laughter with like this entire like me talking about this album? Because we went from like Nigerian genocide and like Madagascar to like Taylor Swift album. Let's go! Oh my god! Like it would. I kid you not. This is like what a lot of people freaking like do. Is that this is what like the peak of the internet is doing right now. We all like have decisively like decided to judge this woman's new music album instead of talking about like the crazy things happening on in the world. Instead,
I was looking at some of the complaints. Weren't they saying maybe it was just too much AI generated?
Was it? I have no idea. Let's actually look some more.
I'm like, the video didn't really look bad. What I saw, I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe it's just different. Yeah, maybe it's just different from
Spotify obviously posting "The Life of a Showgirl," new album from Taylor Swift. Listen now on Spotify. Taylor Swift talks about the reception to her new album, "The Life of a Showgirl," during Zane Lowe interview. I welcome the chaos. The rule of show business is if it's the first week of my album release and you're saying either my name or my album title, you're helping. I have a lot of respect for people's subjective opinions on art. I'm not the art police. Everybody's allowed to... She sounds... You know what this sounds like?
What does it sound like?
It sounds like she's a conservative. She cares about people's opinions. That's crazy. Normally you don't get this out of like liberals. This is actually insane. Do you see this, Richard? You see this? Do you see this? Taylor Swift has released an album exclusive to Israel. Oh, that's stupid. Oh my gosh, Richard. Oh my days, Richard. Oh my days. This is beautiful. Next thing you know, she's gonna be supporting Russia with her next album, guys. Oh my goodness. I think it's over for Taylor Swift.
Wow.
As soon as she releases a horrible album, they think she's related to Israel. It's over. It's over. Netanyahu had a big say in the album cover, I guess. He had a big say in the album's production, I guess, chat. I can already tell Donald Trump. Some reporter's gonna ask Donald Trump. He's be like, "What do you think about Taylor Swift's new album?" He's gonna be like, "Oh, I didn't even know Taylor Swift had a new album. It probably stinks, just like her poop. Though I love Travis Kelce. He's quite the man. He's quite the football player. She's probably associated with Putin or Xi Jinping. Probably had a say in her album being that bad." That's probably how it's gonna like end up going. I'm gonna be real with y'all. Like this is some Looney Tune ass crap. This is some Looney Tune ass crap right here. Like this is the moment where I can say it. This is a Looney Tune app. Like this is it. Every year a Taylor Swift album comes out and she goes, "Roses are red, grass is green, I love Travis and my haters are mean," and her fans go, "OMG, the lyricism." Like, they're starting to realize that Taylor Swift isn't dumping Travis Kelce. The Life of a Showgirl hits 45th most streamed album on Spotify 2025 in 4 days. Crazy. Oh, she looks like Marilyn Monroe there. Dope. Finally, people are seeing that Taylor Swift is an incredibly privileged white woman stuck in a perpetual victim mindset. All it took was one categorically crap album. She's not your bestie. She's a millionaire and a bully. Damn. They turned on her quick. How the turntables, chat. How the turntables. Taylor Swift is no longer your eccentric white girl liberal. She's married to a football player. And you know what liberals think? They probably think football's racist or something. Probably some like gay crap like that. Like I don't know. I don't know, Chad. I don't know. This is definitely going to be like a clip that I'll put out. I'm definitely going to turn this whole segment into a freaking clip. Let's switch it back to the web browser here. Let's see what else we need to cover here. The most Swifty person I know telling me that Taylor Swift album is horrible. Yo, that's crazy. What the heck? Yo, did you see that, Richard? Did you see that? Yo. The reaction is absolutely beautiful and insane. That is great. Immaculate even. Wow. Okay. Let's continue scrolling, I guess. This is why I've actually started to enjoy Twitter, because it's like the content and entertainment that I never knew I needed. You okay? No, because I sent my two kids, Olivia Rodrigo, my new version of You Belong With Me, and they are so cute. Okay, I'm not going to play this because I think it has the music in it, so I'm not going to play it. Taylor discussing Wish List is her favorite song and how it was the last one she wrote for the album.
It's like sparkly.
It's really
and we're
cool.
all very excited about it.
Oh, thank you so much.
Have you got a favourite track on that? I mean, it's really hard because
Okay, I can't stand them talking, and I don't want to hear them talk either. Taylor Swift album talks on my timeline. Okay, Taylor Swift's new album sounds too millennial, man. Everybody's so punk on the internet. Everyone's unbothered till they're not. Every joke says trolling in memes. Taylor Swift, eldest daughter. Imagine trying to convince me that Taylor Swift's new album is bad, and I'm just in my room like this. Crazy. Is that... Okay, I was about to say... I was wondering if this Jimmy Fallon freaking posted that. Squarehead's father, yada yada yada. Taylor Swift talking about the album, yada yada yada. Taylor Swift, like this post condemning album leaks, yada yada yada. This is exactly how I feel, how life feels the night before a Taylor Swift album. So obviously this person's like, oh my gosh, I can't wait for the Taylor Swift album. I can't wait. I wonder what this person is probably thinking after listening to the album. They're probably like, this is the worst thing to ever happen to my life. They probably think the rapture's happening or Armageddon is happening. They think the world's about to end because Taylor Swift released a bad album. It's over. I don't listen to Taylor Swift, but I read the lyrics on the new album. It's so trashy. Parents, don't let your girls listen to Taylor Swift. They have eyes full of adultery, insatiable for sin. They entice unsteady souls. They have hearts trained in greed. Oh my gosh. Let's look at these lyrics. I'll be your father figure. I drink that brown liquor. I can make deals with the devil because... Whoa! That's a little bit crazy there, chat. I mind my business. God's my witness that I don't provoke it. It's kind of making me... Whoa! Okay. We tell the world to leave us the F alone, and they do. And we dream about a driveway with a basketball. Okay, that's not bad. That's fine. All of the wishing on a fallen star. Knock on wood. It's you and me forever dancing in the dark. Hi. He almatized me and opened my eyes. Redwood tree and hard to see. I like how it ends off with opened my thighs. Whoa! Okay, I'm doing a lot of screaming. I'm gonna have to freaking monitor how much the volume of my screaming in the editing. Am I loud when I'm doing that?
I don't think it's too bad. I mean, it's
where I'm like, whoa.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay. I think we're fine. Chat. Okay. We're just go a little bit here, and then we're gonna end it off with our last topic. Actually, we're just gonna go to our next topic. What's the next topic, Richard?
There's two more. The next one is
There's two more
on Colorado conversion therapy ban.
There's two more.
There's two more.
Oh my days. Oh my goodness. Bro, we're already an hour and a half in. Bro.
Yes, they poured on the Colorado conversion therapy ban. So that's...
Oh my gosh, the Colorado conversion therapy ban, guys. I'm sorry we didn't get to cover this as much. We are so deeply into the Taylor Swift new album that that we lost track of time, guys. Oh shoot, I'm lagging like crazy now. Oh, there we go. We got so lost in the moment, chat. I'm so sorry. We're gonna get back to this. Let's go to the Supreme Court thing. The Supreme Court appears ready to side with the Trump and Ringback gang conversion therapy. Yada yada. Supreme Court will consider if conversion therapy ban infringes on free speech of counselors. So basically, Supreme Court is going through this, looking at this conversion therapy thing, deciding if it's right or wrong, right? Essentially, and I'm gonna be real. I'm still hooked on the freaking Taylor Swift stuff. I can't really freaking think about this right now. Uphold conversion therapy, yada yada yada. Breaking Supreme Court to take up case. So they're gonna take up this case. I don't know. We don't know how long this will take for them to decide on it, but this is something to look forward to. We'll probably talk about it in a future podcast when they actually decide on something. So yeah, that's something to look forward to. Richard, do you have anything to say about the conversion therapy?
I don't know. I guess you have to wait and see what happens. I mean, yeah, I think it's personally too much with the whole LGBTQ alphabet thing, So
yeah, the alphabet people are a little kind of crazy.
Yeah, Yeah, so
LGBT barbecue, whatever. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Get out of my face before I freaking blow it. All right. What's the next topic, Richard?
next topic is South Carolina federal judge's house is burnt down.
Oh, okay. That's the last one, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Got you. Okay. So, basically. All right. South Carolina judge's house gets completely burnt down. Here we go. Let's look this video. This guy puts it here, right? Literally, like he puts it pretty good, quite plainly. It's easy to condemn whoever set fire to the house of South Carolina Judge Dan Goodstein, no matter who it was or why they did it. They should belong in jail. See, easy. We don't, and people are already making the assumptions that it's some right-wing guy burning the house, when I doubt it. But we still don't even know all the details of who burned the house. We don't even know if it was even an arson to begin with, though it looks like an arson. I'm gonna be real with you, it does very much look like one, because I mean, do you see how that thing's burning?
You can hear this thing burning.
Like that guy just said, you can hear this thing burning, man. Like you could hear it. Time Mag. The 69-year-old judge had received death threats in the weeks leading up to the fire. House of Carolina judge criticized by Trump administration is set ablaze, absolutely burning down.
A South Carolina Circuit Court judge who faced criticism from Trump officials after a ruling she made against the Trump administration. It comes amid a surge in hostility and threats against judges, as well as criticism directly from the Trump administration, including for Judge Goodstein, after she temporarily blocked the Justice Department from accessing the files of millions of registered voters in South Carolina. Mary McCord is still with us. Mary, what questions do you have based on what we're hearing so far?
You know, this is the kind, again, we've talked today already about crossing Rubicons, right? And when you're starting to attack judges because of their rulings, we're in a very, very dangerous position in this country. And it makes judges fearful. It makes prosecutors fearful, as we know. It makes others in positions where they could be criticized by Donald Trump fearful. And he needs to know the power of his voice and how people respond to that. We've been saying this for years, Nicole, but like, if this is what this turns out to be, some sort of politically motivated act of domestic terrorism, then, you know, the importance and significance of the things that Donald Trump says about a person just, again, will be demonstrated in this instance.
Okay, so, yeah. House burned down pretty bad. Of course, we still don't know the details on whether it was an arson or not, though it looks like an arson, right? And it says here, the judge is on fire after an explosion. It's being investigated as a possible arson attack. We still don't know the details, guys. And we don't know who did it either. So people are already making the assumptions that it was somebody, a conservative, that burnt down their house and it was political violence and all that. But of course, we do not know. So there will not be much coverage about this until we get more information about it. Of course, it'll definitely be all over the news if it does come out, but it is a conservative, and it was a politically motivated arson attack, whatever, right? Do you have anything to say about this, Richard? Richie Rich?
Yeah, I mean, what the other one we were saying about the incident, I mean, they should really investigate to see who did it. I mean, this doesn't have to do with what the president says. I mean, this is arson. I mean, this is, you know, burning down someone's home. That's horrible. I mean, it shouldn't happen to any government official.
Yeah, I agree. Now, Richard, I think we're gonna end it off there. But Richard, we have an eighth topic, don't we?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, my I guess my dating life. Went on a date yesterday at a restaurant. Met this girl. Had a very good first date, but we'll see what happens if
See what
I
you
get a
say that
second
every
date.
time. You're like, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I'm texting her. I feel like the first date could be pretty difficult because you're meeting the person for the first time, and you're literally like there's so much to talk about, and just it's basically like an introduction. So it's hard to even say if it's a real first date. It seems like the second date is like more like the real first date, but
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on one's perception, I guess, or how they meet.
Yeah. Now, Richard, tell me, and tell me and the viewers out there, for our like 0 viewers out there listening and watching this video. What's the prime time location for a first date? Is it like a
You can either
theaters
go.
or like
No, the movie theater is not good for a first date because like
okay.
you're not really gonna have any. It really depends on like what you and her like. I mean, you could just go for ice cream. You could go to a restaurant. You
any
could go bowling.
any restaurants to avoid, like a McDonald's, for example?
I mean, if you're on a low budget, maybe I guess
Low
if you and her
budget.
both.
Low.
Maybe if you're both teenagers, maybe I would say
Both
if you're
teenagers.
one, it would be acceptable. Possibly.
I'm still a teenager, chat. This is possible.
I mean, maybe a little bit higher scale than McDonald's. I mean, maybe go for like
Burger
Jersey
King.
Burger King.
Burger. We gotta get some of that fine dining, don't we?
Fine dining.
Yeah, she don't want no Big Mac. She wants the Whopper. All right, she wants a Whopper.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't suggest like a 5-star restaurant on the first date, but that's I would say a standard restaurant, a chain or not. It's up to you.
Like an Olive
You
Garden
can
or
choose.
something.
Olive Garden, I think it wouldn't be bad on the first date if it's a good location between you and her.
As long as she doesn't know what real Italian food is, because that is not real Italian food for those of you out there. As long as she doesn't like Italian food as well either, so yeah.
Yeah, I'd say it's mid-scale.
Yeah. Gotta hope they're not
It's
like
not
a
quite
picky
fast.
eater too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just gotta see, what her, I guess, what you and her like. I mean, I've played pool, I've done bowling. I did axe throwing one time on a first date.
Whoa, who are you hooking up with? A freaking Irishman? What the hell?
I just decided why not. I mean, this girl is actually like really fit, but even she said it was kind of much because she hasn't done axe throwing before. Like it was a little bit tough on her shoulders, but
she probably does leg presses and stuff, doesn't she?
Possibly. I mean, but with that date, it seemed like that she wasn't that interested because she says, "Oh, I'm going to be busy for the next month," and like she was. She said, "Oh, we can go on a second date, but in about a month." And if you call or text me, I'll be very slow to reply. And I'm like, all right, I guess she's not interested then.
Oof.
Yeah, but sometimes it really depends. Like sometimes if at the end of the first date, I usually ask for a second date, and if they say they're like, "Oh, text me," it could be 50-50. Usually, ideally they say like, all right, have a date like the following week, but it depends what your schedule is like. But if you actually have the second date like planned out which day you're going to go on, then that's a very good sign you have a second date or even a third date. As far as texting, I don't know. I used to text a lot between dates. Now I text a lot less. So it just seems like it's really just meeting the person in real life is like really how you're going to get to know the person the most. I mean, texting doesn't really say too much about a person. I mean, just maybe like how they text. But, if let's say you're really busy, I think video chatting can work out too. I mean, it's somewhat of an alternative. I mean, because at least you get to talk face to face. And if not, at least a phone call might be okay too.
Yeah. Yeah, Richard, you're like a guru to us. You're like all knowing because just by the sheer amount of dates that you've been on. How many have you been on? Like, give us an estimate here.
When like the past year or my whole adult life?
Give us whole. Give us whole. Give us a whole.
Okay,
Like
I
the
was 18.
entirety.
So. Wow. I mean, the thing is though, when like, what about like dates for like relationships? Because in those cases, I would only be dating one girl. So I don't know if like you would consider that just one. Like the relationship would be like a whole bunch of dates, or just
We'll consider it
mini relationship.
We'll consider all of the little dates for like one relationship as all each separate dates. So like, if you go on like multiple dates with one girl, then
Yes.
you count each and every single one of those.
Yeah. So I would say this year is where I've like dated the most women. I think I've probably dated. I had to be over 20, probably
Whoa.
23, 24, I would say.
Shoot. That's like.
Yeah. And a lot of them are just first dates, but I've gone like some second.
And we're still in October, Chet. You still got another 3 months.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah. I mean, my goal is to try to find a relationship, is to have a relationship, but I'm not going to push it. I don't know if there's an alternative to this. I mean, I'm just trying it. Sometimes they say people meeting in school or people meeting in a social group or helps, or on the job could be tricky. I don't know, the whole thing with like sexual harassment and stuff. It seems like the work is kind of too risky. I mean, online dating, it could work. I mean, so far that's where I'm getting most of my dates. I tried speed dating. It's kind of a hit or miss on speed dating.
What's speed dating? How does that go? How does that work?
Yeah, so usually you have like a whole bunch of guys and a whole bunch of girls. Usually it could be like a restaurant or a bar, and you have like a name tag on. Actually, well, you go to like the desk where they have the sign-in sheet, or meet the person with the sign-in sheet, and you sit down, and you get to talk to each woman for about 5 minutes, and they ring a bell each time, and you have like a little sheet where you can write if you like the person or you don't like the person, and if you and the girl both match, they tell you like the next day that you'll get their email, phone number.
So essentially, all the guys are like doing yes unless they're like a fatty or something, and basically, yeah, and then like all the girls are just like picking like the same like 2-3 guys.
I'm assuming so. I mean,
That's
I remember one time.
That sounds what it'd be like.
I remember there was this one time, or the last time I did like, I guess you could say non-Catholic speed dating. The girl told me I was like the most confident, like the most experienced at like speed dating, yet I didn't get any matches that evening. So that means no guys got any matches realistically. If I was the most confident in the way I talked, so I don't know.
Well, maybe they're they like ones that are not confident. They like to break them in.
Maybe could be a possibility. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, could be possible. There's a Chad. That one guy takes all the girls. I mean, could be possible. I mean, it's hard to tell if. Like,
what are you talking about, Richard? You're the Chad here. What are you talking about?
I guess
Stop undermining yourself, my man.
I think it's part of it's a mindset. Part of it could be a haircut. Part of it could be just putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
Just talk to people. Sometimes I hear sometimes, all right, let's say you're a guy and you have trouble talking to women. At least start talking to guys that you get familiar, at least talking with people. I mean, there definitely is debate between, how to talk to guys and girls, but at least it gets you in the social mode to talk. But I've noticed that, you could get a girl to talk pretty easily on a date, like where you don't have to do all the talking, even 50%. Sometimes it's really good if a woman talks like 60% of the time or 75% of the time.
Yeah, you just need to find something that they can yap about.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely something that seems interesting. And I guess with dating, it's pretty much you're evaluating her and she's evaluating you, and just see if it's a good fit. I mean, is it a good model? I think the whole dating model only.
So essentially, it's like a job interview.
I guess, kind of. Yeah, I guess for a long-term relationship. Yeah, it's a little bit different. I mean, I guess it's how you present yourself, and
yeah,
it is tricky. It's a shame because I feel like over time it is getting more difficult, and a lot of guys are dropping out of the dating market. I mean, it could be due to cost. It could be due to just fear of rejection,
or women,
or just maybe whatever it is that the women they see they just feel like they're not compatible with. But I still have some hope. I'm still giving it a try. I just have to wait and see. I mean, I'm kind of seeing it like as a little bit of a quasi numbers game where it's like, all right, at least you start dating, seeing what type of woman do you want, and then you kind of narrow it down a little bit, like, oh, maybe they like this sort of hobby, or maybe they're more conservative leaning, or like certain things you can could be flexible, maybe like certain dietary restrictions, like if they're gluten free or they can't eat certain foods, like is that a deal breaker for you or not? It's up to the individual to decide. Or if a girl has money or doesn't have money, if a girl has student loans, doesn't have student loans, it's really up to the individual. I mean, some people prefer women who are more extrovert or more introvert, or taller, shorter, older, younger. So it's I mean, just have to really evaluate and see if you fit a match, I guess. And sometimes I guess you get to see, like, from your parents, like, oh, maybe it'd be some traits that your parents had that made them together that could help you find like some similarities to see if the relationship would work. I mean, hopefully that individual would have parents that are still together, or have a long-term marriage, and hopefully a happy marriage as well. So, I mean, it's something to think about.
Yeah. Okay, Richard.
Yeah, I mean,
we should probably end this podcast.
Yeah, we really should. Yeah.
Do you know how long this is? We're an hour and 45 minutes in. It's about to turn an hour 46. We're almost at 2 hours, buddy.
Almost 2 hours. Wow.
This is way too long. I thought we would do this within an hour, to be honest, but looks like we're doubling that.
Are we gonna have to reduce the number of articles we do in the videos, or I guess we'll have to?
I think so. I think so. I think we spend too much time on Taylor Swift, so we're limiting the Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is going to go from here to here. Okay, guys, it's going to go from here to here. We're done with the Taylor Swift.
Plus the UK digital IDs and Trump enacting the 1807 insurrection law. We spent a lot of time on those.
Yeah, so I think what I'm gonna do, the full podcast, it will go out, right? But I also like release like clips, like segment videos, where it's like it's just taking a clip or segment and just posting it as its own separate video. So instead, the whole Taylor Swift thing is its own video, and they could just watch that, and that'll be like 15 minutes, 20 minutes long. That'll be probably better for people to view. And I'll have like the channel set up in like different ways, so like playlists. So like we'll have the full podcast channel, like the full long podcasts, and that'll be a playlist. And then we'll have the clips playlist, which is just a bunch of clips, and of course you have the video posts, and then we'll have a most uploaded section. Like, yeah, well, most popular, obviously, but you know what I mean. All right. So, Richard, you have anything to say to the people before we log off?
Yeah, I'm going to be going on vacation to Peru, so possibly the next podcast or the
please don't assassinate my boy in Peru, guys. Don't be looking for this guy. I don't think anybody's watching this video, to be honest, to be worried about anyways.
Pretty funny. All of a sudden, like, it just there's some sort of catalyst where all of a sudden we have like 1,000 views overnight. It could be possible.
It's like 100,000 overnight, and like Richard gets like an assassination attempt or something, and like you're like, you were the person that talked bad about that Taylor Swift album. I agree with you, but I completely hate you.
Wow.
Oh.
It's hard to tell if people are more desensitized to, I guess, what people say online or not. I don't know. It's just a whole debate on that. I mean, like I know it's a little bit controversial, and probably as a conservative it could be controversial, but they say like when it comes to, like, let's say pornography, in reality it's probably not good, but they say in one sense it kind of how do you put it, like I guess it calms people down, or like I don't know. I guess it's probably it really is bad. It really is unhealthy for the brain and everything. But I'm not sure where I'm trying to go by that. But
Why, you got some experience in this?
no.
Anyways, let's end the podcast here, Chad. This has been a good podcast. Thank you for watching. Richard was going off on porn or something. I don't know what he was talking about. We went from Peru
yeah,
to...
whatever. There's a debate on it. I mean, it really isn't good. Don't watch it. It's horrible. So
I like how this is how we're ending off the podcast. Just like, all right, guys, do not watch this crap. This is not good for you. Thank you for watching. Great. Beautiful, Richard. Beautiful. Thank you guys for watching, I guess. This has been a good podcast. Very long. I'm sorry about that. We're about to approach a minute. Well, not a minute. An hour and 50 minutes now. We were just at an hour and 45. Now we're at an hour and 50. Because of Richard's little rant here. But thank you guys for watching. As you could also guys tell, I changed the music for the like the end screen on the video to like, it sounds like your typical like music that you would listen to like on an outro to like a Minecraft like Let's Play video, like from like the 2010s. And I only picked that because it reminds me of that nostalgia. You know, it feels like I'm watching like a Dan TDM video or something. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, thank you guys for watching. The music staying in the end. We'll post a new video out later. But thank you for watching. Goodbye. Richard, say bye.
all right, so long, audience. Until next time.
Yeah.